Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and you may notice a slightly different background. I'm finally in my beauty room and it might even be a little bit echoey because pretty much all I have in here is my big IKEA desk and I've got like a clothes rail over there, but I'm still waiting on like a new rug, a couch, shelves, all that kind of good stuff to really do it all up. And then once it is all done, I will do a beauty room tour and like entire makeup collection. But until then, we have today, of course, as you've seen by the title, we're going to test new makeup, and I already have my brows on and my eyelids primed, and we're going to go straight in with a new palette that I just received. So actually just this morning, around half an hour ago or so, I received a parcel from PROFUSION Cosmetics. I first heard about these when Tati or Glam Life Guru did a video on it, and it's incredibly affordable makeup. Like, I think these big palettes like this are around £13 or so, and you get tons of shades in it. How many? 24 shades and a brush, and the brush actually seems quite nice. Like, it doesn't look like one of those brushes that you just throw away in the bin. This here is the Naturals palette. So it's 24 shades, and I would say a lot of these shades are total dupes for what you find in the Modern Renaissance palette. They also sent me this, which is called the Pro Face 32-piece professional face kit, and in here you've got some brushes, blushes and bronzers, eyeshadows, and up at the top you've got brow products. So this seems really cool. I'm definitely going to use this row here, so a lot of the bronzers and blushers today. I'll of course link the website down in the description bar, but they don't have many products yet on the Profusion UK website, but you can certainly have a look. They've got some products on there. They also sent this, which is the Profusion Brows Kit, which looks like this. Upside down, but you get the gist. And then it also has a double-ended spoolie brush in there. The pencil actually feels really nice. And then lastly they sent me this, which is called the Strobe and Glow, and this is probably what I'm most excited about after the eyeshadow palette, if I can open it. It comes with a brush again. I wouldn't use this brush for highlight, but I would use it for contouring because it's one of those like really skinny brushes and looks really good for that. But this is it here, and you get 9 shades. The other new makeup that we're going to play with today is the YSL All Hours Foundation, and I also have the matching concealer. And then for lips, I picked up the Inc.Redible Matte My Day Liquid Lip Paint in 2 Bads. So that's the new range by the same company as Nails Inc. So you can pick these up in John Lewis, I found out, so that's quite cool. So let's just scoot you in. We'll do eyes first and then we'll do face. So this palette feels really sturdy. It does feel really good quality. It's quite heavy, but it's very big and bulky. It's not the kind of palette I would be able to take very easily with me traveling. But how often do I go traveling? Not that often. So I'm just going to try and get a little feel for the shadows. I'm not going to try and do like a insanely good tutorial for you today. So we're going to first dip into the shade Likeable, which is this one just here. Now I'm going to chuck that on a fluffy brush and pop that in my crease. There's a fair amount of kick up in the pan when you dip into the shadows, so just like with the Subculture, there was a lot of kick up. I don't mind that as long as the shadows perform well, as long as they're pigmented, as long as they blend easily. Doesn't matter to me if there's kick up or fallout. So I want to deepen this up more, and I'm going to dip into Fearless, which is this orange shade here. And I'm going to pop that in the crease as well. That's a really pretty colour. It reminds me exactly of Real Gar from the ABH Modern Renaissance palette actually. I might even just go for like a matte bronzy smoky eye because I'm not doing very much today. Today is like Christmas admin day. I've got to wrap all the presents that have arrived, and also I have to wait in for a couple of deliveries because although I paid for like the most expensive shipping option on John Lewis, DHL, was it DHL or DPD? DPD, they've only delivered like half of what I ordered. So I think I'm just going to do quite a matte eye today. I very rarely do matte eyes, and to be fair, formulating matte shadows is a lot harder than formulating, this is annoying me, than formulating metallic shades. So it's actually quite a good test. So I'm going to put that shade Fearless, that orange shade, that one there. I'm going to pop that all over my eyelid and just see, and I'm just going to see what the deal is by putting that just all over my eyelid. Ooh, that is nice. So that's it packed all over my lids, and I'm just going to go around the edges and just make sure it's blended, obviously, because it looks very stark right now. I know it's early days, but I can tell you already, I highly recommend this palette. If this is like the £13 mark, or even up to 15, which I think it will be, I'm still not 100% sure. I will look it up, and if I find the prices, I'll leave them in the description, or I'll pop them up on screen, obviously. But this, it's just impressed me so far. This orange shade is just gorgeous, and I think it looks really nice with blue eyes, doesn't it? In terms of fallout, I do have fallout. Yeah, I do have some fallout in my nice eye bags there for you. But like I've said time and time again, fallout doesn't bother me, as long as I've not got my base on, and I don't, so all good. Alright, so before we finish off eyes and things, I'm just going to move on to skin, because I'm dying to try out this foundation. So this is, like I said, this is the YSL All Hours Foundation, and it says it's 24-hour long wear, flawless matte, full coverage. It's got SPF 20 in it, so that's something to consider if you're doing flash photography with it. It's oil free, and I picked up the shade BD20 Warm Ivory, and actually it contains 25 mils of product, so it's 5 mils less than your standard foundation. And so I picked up BD20, like I said. I'm not sure, I've never tried YSL foundations before, so I'm not sure what that really means. You know, like I understand NC for MAC, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna prime half of my face. I see xoxo do this, and she's my favorite YouTuber in the world. So I'm gonna prime this right side of my face. I didn't pick up the matching primer because very expensive, in all honesty. And I'm going to use my sponge like I prefer to use with most foundations, but if that maybe doesn't work, I can move to a brush. But I'm not sure how much of this I need to use. I kind of wish I'd gone for a slightly darker shade now that I'm seeing it on my skin, but let's see. That smells incredible. Wow, I love the smell of that. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. This side is actually where I have most of my blemishes on my cheeks, so it'll be interesting to see if it covers them, because it does claim to be full coverage. That was a pump and a half. Definitely evened out, but it's evened out as much as a BB cream would. I can still see all of my blemishes through my skin. Okay. Let's try the unprimed side. That is a full pump. Half-ish of a pump. Really, really smells good though. If that's what YSL products smell like, I might have to go and buy the whole range. That's one layer over my entire face, and it definitely looks good. Like, it looks like I've got foundation on. It looks nice enough, but I wouldn't say this is a full coverage on me at all. Let me just blend it down the neck a bit. I'm going to put another probably full pump on and see what happens, because right now I'm not happy with the coverage at all. So that was actually 2 full pumps there that I'm now layering. So let's see. That's now 2 layers of the foundation on my skin, and I think it looks a lot better, but you can still see my blemishes through here. And that one on my chin. And these aren't like new spots that are hard to cover at all. These are like old, very faded ones that I really would have expected this to cover when it tells me that it's full coverage, but alright, foundation on, let's move on to concealer. I picked up the shade All Hours Concealer number 1 Porcelain, and this says full coverage concealer. The first YSL full coverage 16-hour wear concealer, flawless blendable coverage to hide dark circles and imperfections, no creasing or caking, velvet matte finish, transfer resistant and sweat proof. So let's see. And this is what the bottle looks like. And then it says YSL on that side. Is this the whitest shade? It's like darker than my foundation. Yeah, this is not going to give me any highlight, that's for sure. It might be a good spot coverage concealer. Well, they weren't lying, it blends incredibly easy. Let's see if it's covered these spots though. That's doing a really, really good job over my imperfections. I think it's done a pretty good job under my eyes in terms of the real darkness. I have like quite deep tear troughs under my eyes and they're a little bit puffy right now because I had a terrible sleep last night, but in general, in terms of like my skin discoloration, I think it definitely helped. And it is creasing, but I'm not surprised because I do have fairly creasy under eyes. In terms of coverage, I mean, I'm really happy with this base. I think it looks lovely. It's got a nice natural dewiness to it. Just going to throw a face powder on and then we'll move on to the rest of our face now. And I'll do a check-in tonight before I take all my makeup off and show you what it looks like. Right now, by the way, it is 12 o'clock, 12:02, if I'm being honest. I just used my MAC light mineralized skin finish to set my face because I just wanted to use a nice light powder that wasn't going to change the colour. And it doesn't feel tacky anymore, but it doesn't feel completely dry, like 100%. It feels nice. And I think with my powder on, you know, you're probably going to look at my skin and think it looks good, and it does look good, but it's not my favourite foundation at all. So I'm going to move now into the Pro Face palette, and I'm going to use this side here with the bronzers and blushers on it. It's got a highlight on it as well, I think. Let me just take these stickers off. I should have probably mentioned before, by the way, this video is not sponsored by Profusion. They were sent to me by a PR company who asked me if I wanted to try it out. And I said yes. I like emailed her back immediately and I was like yes, because I just had watched Tati's video. Tati, so Scottish. Tati's video doing it. Let me see these brushes. So there's two brushes that come in the kit and they're not shedding, but one of them, this brush has got a few like loose hairs, like longer hairs. Just looks a bit like I've maybe used it and then washed it. But none of the hairs are shedding, so that's a really good sign. Yeah. In here there's a medium bronzer, a light bronzer, Butterflies, which is obviously a blush, Dazzle, which is a highlight, which is probably going to be too dark for me, and then Fancy, which seems to be kind of a blush with shimmer in it. I'm going to dip into the medium bronzer on the brush that came in the kit, and I'm going to try and use that to contour. It might be slightly too warm, but we can try. Okay, when I dip in, there is some powder kick up. But again, a lot of powders that are actually easy to blend and are pigmented have kick up. It's just the way they kind of need to be formulated, so that's not a bad thing. I've completely forgotten where I was because I just did that parcel delivery. And because it was 3 minutes early, we had to wait for 3 minutes to like accept the delivery. So anyway, so I'm going back in with that medium bronzer and I'm just contouring with it. And that side compared to that side. So it's definitely got nice pigment to it. I'm going to take this brush that came in the strobing kit and I'm going to use this to try and contour my nose and see if I am right, and it is a good shape for that. So I'm just going to take off the excess on the back of my hand. So to bronze my skin, I'm going to go in with the light bronzer, which is this one here. And I'm just using an Eco Tools brush. It's funny when you use a new product, you don't know how pigmented it is, so you have to be quite careful. These powders are just layering beautifully over this base. I'm having no problems. They are blending perfectly. Let's put some highlighter on before blush. I always think it's easier to do it that way because then it makes sure everything blends. I'm going to use my Morphe M501 and I'm going to dip into the strobing kit here. I'm going to use this shade here in the middle, which is called Cotton Candy. Yeah, that does not need wet. Holy crap! Holy mackerel, look at that! Huh? So this highlight, and I don't know if it's because of my base product or what it is, but this highlight is just sitting on my skin and it looks like it's, like everything looks so smooth. It's not highlighting any imperfections. Okay, so the Strobe and Glow kit is another huge hit. Like, this is perfect. That's so pretty. And that is dry, and highlights only look better when they're wet. So imagine using it wet. Okay, back to the Pro Face, and I'm going to take the blush, which is this one here, Butterflies. I'm just going to dip into it. So this doesn't have any kick up really, but the powder is definitely picking up on the brush. Let me just pop this on. This blush is really pigmented and I think I may have put slightly too much on. But so that blush is super pigmented, blends out beautifully. I think it's a really nice tone on my skin. So I'm just going to run some of those shades that we used on our eyes underneath. I'm going to throw on some lashes and mascara, and then we'll do lips, and then we will round up so far. So I'll see you in a minute. I think one of the funniest things about YouTube is that I have now been not filming for about 45 minutes because I took 3 attempts to put this lash on because 3 different delivery people came to the door, and 2 of them, well no, 2 of them weren't deliveries. One was a delivery, one was a man to come and check my boiler, and the other was a delivery of a case of Prosecco, and I was like, oh my goodness, and it wasn't even for me. So I've been away for like 45 minutes. Let's finish off our face and let's move on to lips. Now, like I said, I picked up one of the Inc.Redible, but I'm just gonna say Incredible liquid lipsticks. So they're called Matte My Days, and the one I picked up is called Too Bad, which is this like, let me hold it the right way, which is this like deep berry shade, right up my alley. Perfect for winter. First gonna line my lips just because I love a lip liner with any kind of lip product, and my favourite lip liners right now are these pure ones, which when you close the lid 3 times it sharpens it automatically, and this is in the shade, oh what's it called, Vamp, and I'm just gonna outline my lips with this and then put on the lipstick. I'm holding a tizzy now. And I'm just going to go in with the shade Too Bad. It's a really good colour match for the lip liner actually. I don't love the smell of this. It smells a little bit chemically. It's not unpleasant, it wouldn't stop me wearing it, but it doesn't have like a nice smell, and it's not unscented. It's got, yeah, it's just a little kind of faint chemical smell underneath it. I'm not sure about it. But the colour is gorgeous, like, wow. Right, let me just go and do something with my Barnet, and we'll be right back and I'll give you my finishing thoughts, but then we will do check-ins throughout the day. So give me 2 seconds and I'll try and do something with this. Alright, so let's talk about what products we've used and my kind of first impressions, but obviously these are just my first impressions and this might change throughout the day. So first of all, I'll talk about the foundation and concealer. I love how my skin looks, I really do, but I think that is a lot contributed by all the rest of the makeup that I've put on, because quite often once you've put everything on your foundation, do you know what I mean, like it looks better, like it does look better. So I do really love my skin though, and I think with 2 layers of this foundation, really nice. I'm definitely obviously going to keep using it, it's really expensive, I'm not going to like chuck it in the bin. I think I preferred the concealer though over the foundation. I felt like the coverage was better and it covered my blemishes really well too. I think if I'm going to continue to use it under my eyes with this foundation, I'm going to have to probably put in a slightly lighter shade as well. This is number 1 Porcelain, like I said. I don't know if it comes in any lighter shades, but this is, I probably would repurchase this in a lighter shade if they do it. So if you know that, please let me know down below. But yeah, I do like them both. I'm just not blown away by the foundation. In terms of the lip product that I'm wearing, it's really pretty. It's very opaque. It's not patchy, but it feels quite drying. But I'm the kind of person that will put up with something that feels slightly drying on my lips for a beautiful payoff, and this is a beautiful payoff. It's a gorgeous colour and I definitely want to buy a few more. It's only £8, so really pretty inexpensive. It's actually cheaper than like the Maybelline ones that I really love, so I'd quite like to get maybe a nude, a pink, and have a few different ones and test them all out. But I do really like it and I would recommend it if you love this kind of colour like I do. I mean, it's perfect. And then on to all the Profusion goodies that I got this morning. Love the eyeshadow palette, no complaints yet. Strobing palette kind of blew me away with this glow, it's just stunning. The Pro Face palette seems really nice. It's not the kind of thing that I would gravitate to in a shop. I'm not the kind of person that buys like all-in kits. But what I think I'll probably do with this is depot all of these and put them in a Z palette, and then probably pass this side over onto somebody else I think would really like it. The shadows did feel really nice, but I have a million eyeshadows and I love this one, so I'm going to keep this one. But yeah, I'll probably depot this side because I'm really enjoying how these powders look on my skin. Haven't tried the brow palette. Seems nice. I mean, what can I say if I've not tried it? The pencil does feel really nice and soft though. But what I'll do is I will do my full brow routine in a new video, and I'll try this out in that and see how it goes. So that's currently how I feel about the products, and I'm going to go away, I'm going to do some wrapping, I'm going to hang up the washing, all my kind of housewifely jobs, and then I'll come back and check in a bit and show you what my makeup's like. So the time is now 2:45, can you see that? It's not taken me 2 hours and 45 minutes to do my makeup, but there's been quite a few distractions. So anyway, I will come back and check in later. So this is my first check-in. The time is now 5:15. Sorry if you can hear that noise, I've got a fan heater on because my flat is freezing. If I zoom you in a bit, it's out. So the makeup's been on 2.5 hours. I feel like everything's still there. There's not been any like rub off of any of my base products. The eyeshadow still looks really good. The foundation still looks good. My highlight is still like so there. So is my blush actually, and that's usually something that goes really quickly. My lips actually still look perfect. In all fairness, I haven't actually eaten anything. I've been drinking, but I haven't eaten anything except a few quality streets while I've been wrapping presents. But yeah, so I think after 2.5 hours, I mean, that's pretty much no time, and I would expect my makeup to look perfect still. And I think it looks, you know, pretty much the same as when I put it on, so I'll check back in a few hours and see if there's any difference. So it's now 9:15 and I feel like my makeup still looks really good. The only thing that's come off really is my lips, and you can even see that when I'm talking. That's just come off on like the inner rim and the outer corner. But I mean, I think it still looks good. I've had much worse liquid lipsticks, and I've eaten a pizza, so that's like a whole pizza worth of like lip decay. No, that sounds awful. It's like a whole pizza worth of lipstick lastingness, and I think it's done exceptionally well. So like I felt at the beginning of the video, I'm definitely going to get more colours because I really like them. My highlight is still popping. You can still see my blush. The foundation looks really good. I haven't touched it up at all. It's maybe slightly more shiny on my like forehead, maybe just through my T-zone, but really it's fine. So I've worn this, I think I've worn this now for what, 6.5, 7 hours, and I'm very, very happy with it. Oh, the eyeshadow as well, still perfectly in place. You can still tell I put orange on my lids. So really, I'm incredibly happy with this makeup and how it turned out. And now I've got my pajamas on, I just really want to scrub my face off and just have naked skin. So thank you so much for checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, please do give me a like, please subscribe, and leave me a comment as well. Leave me a comment telling me if you've tried any of these products, or if you're maybe looking forward to the Profusion Cosmetics coming out in the UK, or if you've tried the foundation, or just your thoughts in general of the makeup from today. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!